Hello and welcome to the news. To present, my name is Jeffrey Ziambo. The headlines. Vice President Inonge Wina has apologized for mistakenly voting with opposition members of parliament on a private member's motion moved by Ron Member of Parliament Chishimba Kambwili. President Edgar Lungu says value addition is the answer to the country's industrialization, job creation and wealth creation. And the Cancer Diseases Hospital will by the end of this month conduct the first ever treatment of thyroid cancer. Hello, the news in detail. Vice President Inonge Wina has apologized for mistakenly voting with the opposition on a private member's motion moved by Ron Member of Parliament urging the government to expedite the payment of terminal benefits to all former government employees who retired prior to the 5th of January 2016. In a statement to the House, Ms. Wina acknowledged having voted in support of the motion moved by Mr. Kambwili. She says it was an electronically induced mishap. She says in order to avert possible speculation and dissension regarding how she voted, she has decided to place it on record that she inadvertently voted with those in support of the motion. Ms. Wina apologized to the ruling party for unintentionally reducing the figures and to the opposition for inflating the vote.
Belonging to the Assembly. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the division list number 3, which has been circulated, correctly shows that I voted along with the ayes. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in order to avert possible speculation and dissension regarding my vote, I would like to place it on record and inform the House and the public at large that I inadvertently voted with the ayes. Mr. Speaker, I wish to apologize to the right for unintentionally reducing the figures. Additionally, to apologize for inflating the figures unnecessarily. This was indeed an electronically induced mishap. Mr. Speaker, I can
President Edgar Lungu says the anchor for Zambia's industrialization programs is value addition. Speaking at the Manufacturers Meet the President seminar as part of this year's Manufacturers Week under the theme Solutions for Zambian Manufacturing, President Lungu says there is need for the country to rise to the occasion and take keen interest in adding value to the agricultural products and minerals, among others. He says value addition is the answer to the country's industrialization, job creation and wealth creation. President Lungu states that the Zambia Association of Manufacturers has an onerous task to be instrumental in changing the value addition narrative in Zambia from mere rhetoric to action. He says government has put in place a number of measures to promote value addition in the manufacturing sector, such as the creation of multi-facility economic zones, MFEs, and industrial parks where greenfield projects are being promoted. President Lungu states that this will be a sure way of encouraging Zambian exports, thereby earning foreign exchange for the economy. President Lungu has further encouraged Zambian manufacturers to produce high-quality products if they are to compete favorably in the region. He adds that government is also aware of the challenges facing manufacturers, such as which include unfair competition as a result of imported products, particularly those smuggled into the country. The head of state says government is also concerned about the illicit trade, as it does not only cause a leakage of the much-needed revenue, but is also a deterrent to the advancement of industrialization.
But let me point out that all these challenges cannot be overcome if we work together. That's why I'm really working together. In this vein, let me just implore the Zambia Association of Manufacturers to continue working close with the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry, the Zambia Revenue Authority, other relevant government ministries, as well as sister associations to set up a national task force to curb this trend. Let me also at this point address the prospect of giving a legal framework to advise within yourselves to sit down together and give us what we might call a layman's draft bill, what you want to be for hosting the ministry, so that we can target cabinet and equipment service parliament. We will not force you how to manage yourselves. We know you are our partners, but we don't think that lies in our province to decide how we will get people back in request to improve the roads. The ball is in the court. Once you are ready, the ministry is available. Come and tell us what we can do. No association, accountants, engineers, all these people operate.
Speaking earlier, Zambia Association of Manufacturers ZAM President Rosetta Chabala said the manufacturing sector has faced a lot of challenges, as evidenced from a stagnant contribution of 3% to the country's gross domestic product GDP in the last decade. She says the sector aims at contributing over 20% to the country's GDP before the year 2030. Ms. Chabala says the challenges faced have been mainly due to the high cost of production in the country, the cost of transportation and electricity, among many others. She has further called on government to reduce the tax burden, especially on the importation of semi-processed raw materials, if the sector is to thrive. The Road Transport and Safety Agency, RATSA, has dismissed as false reports of an accident in Chitambo district involving a Jordan bus. RATSA head Public Relations Frederick Mubanga has told Q News that the information circulating is false and should be treated as such. Mr. Mubanga has explained that the agency only recorded an accident earlier this month and that people are using the same story and images to cause alarm. Mr. Mubanga says people should only take as official statements from the agency or the police. People's Alliance for Change PAC President Andy Ford Banda says political parties contemplating moving a motion of impeachment in Parliament against President Edgar Lungu are wasting their time. Mr. Banda tells QTV News that political parties championing such a cause are merely politicking, as such a motion is bound to fail, considering that the ruling Patriotic Front has a majority of members of Parliament. He says what political parties should do is to engage the head of state on best practices of governance instead of embarking on futile ventures campaigns. Mr. Banda has, however, castigated President Lungu for not heeding to the advice given to him on several national matters.
With a majority PF parliament, which has actually exhibited that it stands with its leader, I think it's folly to think that something like that would work out. I think what we need to look at is how best we can, advise the president and how best the president can also listen. The biggest problem we have is that the president has not shown or demonstrated to listen to advice. That's the reason why some people might want to look at such routes. But realistically speaking, as the People's Alliance for Change, we think such cause are not going anywhere. But we would wish our colleagues in the opposition who are pushing for a cause to impeach the president all the best. But we won't join such a movement because according to the provision of the law, and the fact that the PF has got a majority in Parliament, it's unlikely that such a move, would end up, being a reality. However, I would like to advise the president, to watch what he says. I think it's important to let the judiciary do its job. It's important to let other arms of government do their job.
Electricity connectivity is key to the development of any area, as the availability of power helps ease the delivery of services. Electricity availability also acts as a catalyst to economic activity. Therefore, the recent connection of Luampa district to the national grid under a project undertaken by the Rural Electrification Authority REA positions the district for accelerated economic activity. Favored Kalando was in Luampa district and brought us this report.
Pregnant women used to deliver at night using candles or light from a phone because of lack of power at Luampa Mission Hospital in Western Province. This put the lives of expectant mothers in danger in an event of any complications, as Dr. Armstrong Mwepu, who is District Medical Officer, explains.
You can imagine all the big cases we have to refer them to come because of no electricity in Luampa. Even to do a simple X-ray, we have to send a patient to either to Luampa, either to Mungu. But this time around, power is in Luampa. So what I may say, it's just a big appreciation to the government. I have to remember these people have been waiting for this power. Really, a big help.
But the story is different now, thanks to the Rural Electrification Authority, REA, which has connected electricity to the healthy facility. Luampa, which was declared a district by the late President Michael Chilufya-Sata in 2012, had never been connected to electricity since 1963. This is the first time since independence Luampa district, which has a population of over 45,000, has been connected to the national grid, a development which has cheered the residents here.
Kusina malaiti nelunyanda hulu nenda kutinira mukuli kukula chwana kamba kimwima etwezi kupala kupulunga kutuwa mwezi operation kwanu kana kwa kuna malaiti kuna kuli kwanda kuli kutuwange mwima yale bangi bate transport wa mwiso wakao kwa mwezi operation kama mwendi kuna ni mtu watu wa kutoa x-ray kana kwa x-ray hakuna malaiti hakuna kuna kuli kwanda kuli wa munge kwanu mbuse kwanu bamwise kai pakao
malaiti ngeskatakale nelunyanda mu Luampa malaiti skatakale kusida chokola mbonyi kusida kweza ndo wale aluisa mukuli kwa sipatela kwale fumana kuli malaiti hakuna iba weza delivery mwendi kuti konji kuisa kwa fieta mwendi malaiti for diesel iferire so nifumana nga kutata konji kuisa kwa kaoma mwendi konji kuisa kwa Mungu aiba transport yapi hakuna tuyofuta kwale mwendi mtu wati mera fahali.
REA Chief Executive Officer Engineer Geoffrey Msonda says the 20 million kwacha Luampa grid extension project has resulted in the electrification of rural communities and public institutions.
For us as Rural Electrification Authority, we are happy that this project has finally been completed. Allow me to thank the local leadership, particularly the traditional leadership, and the community at large for having given us time and space for us to operate in this area and be able to complete the project.
Energy Minister David Mabumba took advantage of the occasion and urged the residents to invest in opportunities that will unlock the potential of Luampa district.
I want to appeal to the business community in Luampa that this investment, which costs government 20 million kwacha, they should be able to use it in terms of their business opportunities. I want to appeal to those that want to invest in sawmilling, if there's timber in Luampa, those who want to invest in selling, fresh and meat products, those who want to invest in hair salons, that this is an opportunity, including those who want to invest in agro-processing. The power has come, and the colleagues as a community of Luampa, let's use this power so that it can bring the beneficiation to unlock the potential of the economy of Luampa district.
Officiating at the event, Vice President Inonge Wina said government has a social contract to improve the lives of the people of Zambia, especially those in the rural area. Ms. Wina, who handed over the project, says the project is a clear indication that Luampa district remains a priority in the country's development.
In order to ensure development in Luampa and the sustainability of this project, I encourage you to engage in productive uses of electricity so that you improve your levels of income and add to the growth of the national economy. I therefore task the provincial and district administrations to ensure that small and medium-scale enterprises and commercial investments are promoted in the district. I also want to encourage the people of Luampa to grow cassava on a commercial scale to support the setting up of milling plants, thereby creating demand for power to sustain ZESCO's operations and maintenance costs.
As Zambia strives under surging economic and population growth rates, the Rural Electrification Authority has reaffirmed its commitment of ensuring that everyone benefits from optimal gains of development. Favorite Kalando in Luampa district in
Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampiongo has dispatched a pathologist to Kabompo district in Northwestern Province to conduct a post-mortem on the body of Matthews Kanjido, who is alleged to have been killed by police officers in President Edgar Lungu's advance party during his recent visit to the district. Responding to a question by Kabompo West Member of Parliament Ambrose Lufuma, who wanted to know whether government is aware of the sudden death of Kanjido, Mr. Kampiongo says the pathologist will determine whether indeed the deceased was bitten by police officers and sustained a broken spine, neck and arm as alleged by the area MP. He says that according to police information, the deceased was found dead outside his sister's house around 06 hours on the 4th of November 2017 near the venue of the PF Provincial Conference. Mr. Kampiongo says police officers did not suspect any foul play and did not object to the family's intention to bury the body of the deceased without post-mortem.
And I want to say this, that because of his alarming statement, Mr. Speaker, I have a report from Kabompo Police. We have dispatched a pathologist because the statement is making, I don't know where he saw the broken leg with himself, that cannot be determined after post-mortem. And because of his alarming statement, Mr. Speaker, we have dispatched a pathologist to go and discuss with the family, which family adopted to bury the person without post-mortem. But they should allow the pathologist to make sure that the matter is put to rest. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Economic and Equity Party President Chilufya Tayali has accused UPND leader Hakainde Hichilema of receiving dubious money using his offshore accounts. Mr. Hichilema has said that there is nothing illegal about him being named in the latest leak, the Paradise Papers. Mr. Tayali has told a media briefing in Lusaka that the revelation by the Paradise Papers vindicates him that the UPND leader has something to hide concerning his wealth. He says the UPND leader has to date not disclosed his source of wealth, saying this clearly shows that he is not an honest leader. Mr. Tayali says if there is one question that Mr. Hichilema is uncomfortable answering, it is how he became rich. He says inasmuch as the PF has messed up, the UPND cannot be an alternative government, alleging that its leader has a questionable record.
It was revealed, I think it's this week, in that Paradise news. It was revealed. It has come out clear. Those Zambians who have been doubting what I said about privatization, I don't know how naive they can be to doubt about HH's involvement in privatization and taking advantage of that. Because where has HH gotten the money, so much money, to be at the level of the Queen of England? The people that they have disclosed in that Paradise news, they are not small people. They are not like GBM and that. It's not those kind of people. They are talking about big people. Big people. These are the people who, those people they have followed. They don't follow small guys. They follow the big guys. And HH has appeared to be a big guy there. And somebody would say, no, I'm being jealous of HH. HH has worked for his money. Let's be reasonable. Let's be very, very reasonable. How old is HH? When did HH leave campus? When did HH get into working?
The United States Air Force has pledged to train the Zambia Air Force in advanced peacekeeping and disaster response. The U.S. 818th Mobility Support Advisory Squadron, based in the U.S. state of New Jersey, is in the country conducting mobility logistics and airfield security training for ZAF officers to prepare them for the arrival of the newly acquired C-27 Spartan cargo aircraft. Mission Commander for the 818th Mobility Support Advisory Squadron, Major Gerard Cordell, has told journalists in Lusaka that the training, which will go on for 3 weeks, is focused on how to prepare cargo and personnel for movement. Major Cordell has stated that the training has enhanced the Zambia Air Force's ability to protect its personnel and aircraft and also support peacekeeping and disaster response operations in the country and the region.
We have been working with the ZAF for the last about 2.5 weeks. As you can see, we've got 2 groups of training going on. The group right behind me is doing logistics training, and the group over there on the grass is doing some security training. We were asked by the government of Zambia to come and help assist and build the capability within the ZAF to accommodate future operational possibilities. The ZAF is going to be getting a couple of additional aircraft called C-27s that will allow them to travel further with more cargo. And so the goal of this training is to help the ZAF prepare cargo for shipment and be able to move their people and their equipment longer distances than they ever have before. This is the first iteration. We're going to be returning for a few more as well in the future. But the objective of the training is to be able to allow the ZAF to plan for and prepare cargo for movement, whether it's people, vehicles, trailers, any other equipment that can physically fit inside of an aircraft. They're learning how to prepare that equipment for cargo, for transport, how to weigh it properly to know the right balance that has to happen on the aircraft. As you can understand, on an aircraft, if you put all the heavy stuff in the back of the aircraft, it's not going to balance properly, and it's not going to fly, and it's not going to be safe. So they're learning how to balance the equipment, where they are putting the weight in relation to the aircraft, and the best way to transport that equipment safely, both for the aircrew, but also for the equipment that's actually inside the.
In sports, acting sports minister Charles Banda has urged Chipolo Polo fans to turn out in numbers and cheer the boys as they take on Cameroon in this Saturday's formality match of the Russia 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifiers at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Ndola. Banda notes that the importance of fans and their impact on Saturday's game is crucial. He has told journalists in Lusaka that it is important that Zambians develop an attitude of being with the Chipolo Polo even when they lose, instead of only praising them when they win. Banda says Saturday's game should be treated with the seriousness it deserves, thus the need to give encouragement to the Chipolo Polo by cheering the boys.
So this Saturday we have got a game between Zambia and Cameroon, and the feelers I have from some circles, there are a lot of complaints from administrators and some coaches have made it very clear that they're not being respected as a sport because there's so much negativity from ourselves out there towards the performance of our teams when they have lost. We're seeing praise, of course, when they have won, but we should develop this attitude of being with them. Let's carry them along whenever they are there so that their performance can actually be enhanced, especially when they have realized that they have got the support of the citizens. Against this background, I'm saying that the Saturday game should be treated with all the seriousness that it deserves. I know it is a formality game. Those on the copper belt, we are much nearer to Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Ndola. Let's turn up in numbers to go and give our lads the support that they need on the pitch. You know, football is not only played on the pitch itself. It can be augmented from the terraces, from the people that have gone to watch. You give courage to the lads when they are on the pitch. The cheering that we are going to give. The moment we fill up the stadium, everybody will know that we care for them. Everybody will know that we are behind them and we are with them. So we as government are saying, let us go out there in numbers. And I'm very happy to.
The Football Association of Zambia, FAZ, has postponed the final league matches involving Kansanshi Dynamos and Kitwe United. Kansanshi Dynamos are supposed to play in Ndola United, while Kitwe United will play Zesco Luapula to decide who gets promoted to the Super Division between the two top sides, who have 60 and 59 points respectively. FAZ General Secretary Ponga Liwewe says the decision is to ensure fair play and in the interest of justice, following a complaint made by Kitwe United in view of the decision by FAZ Disciplinary Committee to award Kansanshi Dynamos 3 points for the use of an ineligible player by Indeni. She says postponement of the two matches is to allow for the matter to be heard and determined prior to the conclusion of the season to ensure that the promotion of either club is as a result of their performance on the pitch. To end the news, the headlines again. Vice President Inonge Wina has apologized for mistakenly voting for opposition members of parliament on a private member's motion moved by Roan Member of Parliament Kishimba Kambwili. President Edgar Lungu says value addition is the answer to the country's industrialization, job and wealth creation. That's all we had in our news. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Bye-bye.